The original bro, the king of bros, Matt Riddle here. You know what I like to do? Let's go in raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you'll be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steven Larson. Taped live at twitch.tv/Steven Larson. We're on the road to 500 subs, and evidently, according to Dirty Rich, we have promised that at 500 subs on Twitch, we will do the very first 24-hour live stream we have ever done. We've been doing this stuff since we've been like in our early 30s, and I don't think we've ever done a 24-hour stream. And we're not that far away from. We're like 175 subs away from it. That's not that bad.
No, I mean, we've been within a month and a half. It could happen.
I know. So, anyways, that's terrifying. I wanted to bump it to 1,000, but you just yelled at me, so we're gonna have to do it at 500. So,
well, like I said, we told people 500. 500 it is.
I know, but we can get out of stuff. Go ahead and
no way to
follow
run a
us.
business, man.
Follow us
no
on
way to
Twitch
run this operation
at twitch.tv/Steven Larson.
Oh my gosh.
And Larson coming to us from Haunted Palace today. If you're watching this on YouTube.
Did you hear that?
Whoa! Oh, dude! Oh!
What the? Oh, did you hear that?
I watch so much of that stuff because Bama loves it. She loves Zach Bacon.
Basically every episode of Ghost Adventures, man.
She loves it. He cracks me up too. That dude is hilarious because he's so tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, he is. Have you watched Screaming Room, where they do like essentially director's commentary on past episodes?
No, Bama hates that stuff. It'll auto go to that, and she'll be like, "Dad, it's like the talking one."
Oh, no, that's the best. If you want prime Zach Bagans, that's when you watch, because it's the four of them, and it's like his theater at home, and it's just them making fun of each other. It's great.
I might have to check that out. So we've got bonus episodes today. We put up top 10 broken games. It's a vintage 10 for the win episode, and it's part of our Friendo Club TV initiative. And
it's all inclusive.
All inclusive. Twitch subs, you get a link to it. YouTube channel members, you get to watch Friendo Club TV, and of course, patrons on patreon.com/Steven Larson, $5 and up, and you get 5 bonus episodes every single week, including that old 10 for the win stuff that we used to do. We've got a couple new YouTube channel members. It doesn't break these down by like who's the newest, but Alejandro Alarcon, Ed Freeze, or Ed Fries, I'm not sure which one, TEQ Snuka, let's see here, Jason Gracie, the Bubba King, Delete, looks like that's our old friendo Delete of the Freak Legion, and Trey Tyler,
welcome back,
and Bobby Dante, and Okami98. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Anthony says we need the Heavy Rain 10 for the win, a classic if there ever was one. So I have a lot of that stuff, the old stuff. So the one that just went up today was from our second run. I have all that stuff on this laptop. All the old stuff I have somewhere. I just have to access it.
Yeah. I'll see if
I'll go through all my files and see what I have.
I'll see if Fenris has that Heavy Rain one, and then I'll see if I can. I might actually have that on because I have a couple on one of my old computers.
All right.
I'll see. I'll see about that one because that's like one of our favorite ones. Again, the old ones, old Steven Larson, were a bit more risque back then than we are now. So we might have to quality check these and make sure that they're up to our current standards. So keep that in mind. Anyways, we're getting some heavily censored episodes. But what wasn't heavily censored today? SmackDown. Oh man, this episode, Larson. You know how
it was fun.
Just yesterday, I said that episode of NXT might have been my favorite empty arena episode of wrestling. This 2 days later might have surpassed that. I loved this episode of SmackDown. It was all over the place. I thought it was fantastic.
It was the pace was quick.
Yeah.
It focused on, I mean, there's a lot of story going on. And a lot of people I think, are varying opinions about the opening segment. How closely it may hew with Jeff Hardy's real life and well-noted issues with drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
I'm kind of two minds about it.
That's a good place to start. So what are you thinking right now?
In a bubble, it was really well executed.
Yeah, sure.
Like from a production standpoint, hit the story beats. I bought into it, but if I hadn't seen it and I just heard about it, I would think, oh, that's a bit tacky. Continually exploiting, and I know it's a situation where he's getting framed for something. You could see that plain as day as soon as the cop pulls out the rental car agreement.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy. Who's Jeff Hardy? Is there a Jeff Hardy around here?
Right.
You could tell that there's a swerve afoot. Nonetheless, whenever they reference Hardy's past substance abuse issues for storyline purposes, it makes me as a viewer feel uncomfortable.
Okay. All right.
And I assume, or I hope, I'm not going to assume, I hope that whenever they have ideas like this and they inform him of them or pitch them these ideas, he is on board with it. Maybe he feels like doing this helps him in his recovery process. I don't know how he feels about it. My only hope is that it's a situation where they present these creative ideas to him and he signs off on it, as opposed to, hey, Jeff, here's what you got. This is what we got for you tonight. And he just goes along with it, whether he feels comfortable with it or not. But personally, whenever they continually reference this stuff, it does make me feel a bit uncomfortable. That being said, it was pretty well done.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to assume I am not uncomfortable with it at all, just because, look, they're trying to re-sign the guy. He has done this thing since at least 2009 with Punk. I don't believe.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you see Matt Hardy's tweet at the beginning of Smackdown tonight?
No, what did he say?
He said, "I'm very happy to be working Wednesday nights with All Elite Wrestling."
Oh, well, yeah, I know, but here's the thing: I have no idea what the personal dynamic is between Matt and Jeff at this point. I don't know, and so I can't read too much into that tweet beyond. I mean, yeah, is he disappointed that Jeff is doing this? Is he disappointed that WWE is doing this? I don't know. Jeff Hardy has been doing this since 2009. He left WWE and he came back to WWE, I think a couple times since 2009.
Yeah.
So the idea in my mind, and obviously I don't know because I'm not there. The idea at this point that WWE wants to re-sign this guy, which is something we've heard, and they would run a story that he would have any apprehension about, it just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. So on top of that, so I know that they've done this whole video. I mean, they've been building up to this with the redemption packages and everything. And then tonight, I would have a different opinion of it if the story was he relapsed. I would then be like, this is lazy. Even if Jeff Hardy was into it as a viewer, I'd be like, this is lazy. What we saw tonight, like as you noted, from the get, it's okay, who framed Jeff Hardy? Because it's obviously he's been framed. Like, come on, this isn't I think this isn't even Murder, She Wrote territory.
No, I think part of it for me too is this is a well they have gone to continuously for more than a decade with Jeff Hardy, continually referencing this. I don't know. It's and yeah, you could say this particular segment was a different take on how they usually approach it. Dude's immensely talented. I'm sure there's a lot of other stories you could tell with Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, but the best ones have always been involving this stuff.
The Randy Orton one had really nothing to do with this.
What was what was the impetus of that one? What was
Randy Orton sticking his finger in Jeff Hardy's ear and twisting it around?
Well, that's just a messed up thing. That's not really. I honestly forget what what their problem was with each other in that.
He probably brought up that stuff too. I don't remember, but it wasn't solely focused on that though.
Right? Okay. The thing that I remember. Here's the thing though. The thing that we both remember from that is the screwdriver going through the ear. That's not really a story. That's just a really cool, shocking moment.
There's two instances there was a screwdriver, and then he put his finger in the hole too.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's like, that's not really a story. That's just something they did. That was, part of
Yeah,
what
it was a great thing they did.
It was awesome. No,
Anyways,
it was
let's run
great.
through this.
But I don't know.
Fantastic. So
for me, it's funny because I saw a lot of tweets from people in my timeline when they kicked this story off tonight, saying, Jeff Hardy, he's had these issues for a long time, and I don't know how I feel about them going to this well. And I'm like, well, okay, but they're not doing a story. And I know, to me, in this case, the devil's in the details. They're not doing a story where he relapsed. They're doing a story where they have told his story of redemption. And I don't even think it's Sheamus at this point, because that would be too easy. It's possible they don't know who it is, but I don't think it's going to be Sheamus.
Who does know? The hacker.
And they might go that route. They probably will go that route. It would be
might.
To be honest, it'd be stupid if they didn't, because they've already established that the hacker knows everything, right?
Yeah, I doubt there's a might in that. The hacker is going to know.
So it's like, no, I understand the apprehension that people have. I understand the apprehension. In my mind, I was like, okay, well, that's just part of Jeff Hardy's lore, and that's what they're going to use to motivate this story. But it's not told in the lazy way where he comes out drunk or whatever. This is a different story that they're telling using that background that he has, and that's part of his history. So I don't know. I'm okay with it. I understand the apprehension.
All right, let's start hitting these beats here. So open to the parking lot. Renee Young's there on the scene.
I just want to get to them. I'm sorry. I just want to get to them filming Mandy's dream. I'm sorry. That was amazing. So please continue.
So there's an accident. There's been an accident outside the performance center, like in the back of it, and one that, like a residential street. It looked like Elias was hit by a car. Eyewitnesses claim to have seen the driver. The driver ran up, hit Elias, ran off. A cop looks into the car, finds a bottle of booze. How convenient. Flips down the visor. There is a rental car agreement with Jeff Hardy's name on it. And the cop goes, Jeff Hardy. Is there a Jeff Hardy around here? Who's this Jeff Hardy guy?
This guy he does not watch wrestling. He has not watched wrestling in the last 25 years.
Apparently he's only an Itchweed fan.
My sister knows who Jeff Hardy is, and she doesn't watch this show, and she has never watched wrestling in her life. She knows who Jeff Hardy is.
You probably told a story about meeting Jeff Hardy at McDonald's. So Kayla, we go to elsewhere on the scene. Kayla is interviewing eyewitness Braun Strowman. He says, I saw it all. I saw everything. I saw someone hit Elias, leave the car, take off running. Then I wouldn't call 911.
You know what's kind of terrible is that that was all the Braun Strowman I needed in this episode. It was actually kind of better because he wasn't in it. Like, if you think about it, it's kind of impressive that him, Miz, Morrison, and The Fiend were nowhere to be found, and it was still a really strong episode of Smackdown.
Yeah, it was a really fun show.
Their depth, they have done a lot with the smaller roster that they have versus Raw.
Really good creative and good pacing makes up for a lot. So we go to the other camera crew. They're following the cops, and Jamie Noble and Jason Jordan. It was good to see Jason Jordan.
He was trending because everybody was so excited to see Jason Jordan.
That was awesome. So they go over to some bushes, and there's Jeff Hardy. He's hurt. The cops asked him if he's been drinking. He's like, no, I haven't been drinking. And the cop goes, he smells like booze. He smells like the bottle in the car.
And poor Jamie Noble was just trying to control the situation, but it was getting out of his hands.
He was getting out of hands.
That's when you immediately lawyer up Jamie Noble. So anyways, they bring him to the cop car. He's like, hey, this guy smells like booze. They put him in the cop car. Jamie Noble's like, oh my goodness, what happens now?
And then they walk by Elias, and Jeff sees what happened to him. He's upset.
He's like, Elias, man. Yeah. So this is a rough go of it for Elias. This is basically the CM Punk Money in the Bank. Was it the Money in the Bank? No, or it was a world title?
No, he actually won. It was a Elimination Chamber or something like that. He walked in that pay-per-view. It was an Elimination Chamber match, at least. He walked into that match as champion, got beat up in the kickoff show or early in the show,
and they still put it on the line, right?
Yep, and they replaced him in the match, and someone else won the title without him actually being in the match.
And was that because Undertaker said that he didn't dress the part?
I don't think that's why. So they put Hardy in handcuffs, put him in the car, they drive off. Now, this next segment might have been the segment of the show for me. So Adam Pearce, longtime wrestler, has been producer of WWE for a number of years. For a while, he was leading 205 Live, I believe, creatively. So he's addressing the locker room. He's standing on like an apple box or a chair or something. So he looks tall.
Yeah, at first I was like, Jesus Christ, why is this guy not? Why did WWE not bring him into wrestling? Which is still a legitimate question.
Yeah,
why didn't they bring him into wrestling?
But like, you know, he still looks like he's in really good shape. He's got broad shoulders. If you told me he was that tall, I would have believed it.
He looks better than 80% of the wrestlers there, man.
I know.
He looks great.
So he gives an update on Elias and nothing life-threatening with him. Jeff Hardy has been arrested, and then Sheamus starts talking shit.
Yeah.
So you give him more chances. Look what happens.
Yeah.
So Adam Pearce says, turn match is canceled. And AJ pipes up, says, oh, yeah, cool. Daniel Bryan and I are in the finals. That's awesome. Daniel Bryan's like, no. We're supposed to have matches. We need replacement opponents for each of us.
Mm-hmm.
AJ goes, Daniel, how stupid are you? Just take the free ride to the finals.
Yeah.
And Daniel Bryan says, what are you, a coward?
Yeah.
Sheamus pipes in. He says, I'll take the match against Daniel Bryan. And then Baron Corbin chimes in.
Wait.
He says, I'll take a match against AJ. And AJ's like, no, my free ride. And earlier on, when he first mentioned Adam Pearce, was like, well, that's your right. You can do that.
Yeah.
So Sheamus has this great idea. How about Sheamus versus Baron versus Daniel Bryan? Winner gets match. Winner gets match against AJ in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jey Uso chimes in. It's like, hey, I'm a tag team guy, but you know, being Intercontinental Champion sounds fun. Dolph says, he voices some confusion about whether that's Jimmy or Jay in front of him.
Yeah, Dolph was hovering out of the camera frame, and then he just sort of pipes in. He's like, "Hey, hold on a second. I'm a 6-time Intercontinental Champion." And then Chad Gable pipes up, and he's like, "Oh, really? You're also a jackass."
Yeah, and
funny.
So Pearce says Bryan can't compete. AJ gets a free ride to the finals. Battle Royal will happen tonight. Winner of that gets Bryan in the main event. Winner of that match faces AJ in the finals.
Yeah. Daniel Bryan, he looks so tickled. Like he had a giant
laugh the whole time.
He had a giant smile on his face the entire time because at one point everybody started like jawing about it, and he was like, "Yeah." Oh man, this was really good stuff. So after that we had Adam Pearce is then like, okay, well this battle royal is going to happen now. But no, he was great, man. Make him the general manager. I think it'd be awesome.
Man, he was good. He had presence. I know he was standing on the chair. He carried himself with authority.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But if he had told me he was apparently like 7'2", I would have believed it.
Yeah, I know. Me too. He looked like
he carried himself. He's got broad shoulders. He just looks like he could be, at least Baron Corbin's height. But he's probably at least 8 inches shorter.
Yeah, you think? I don't know. I mean, he might still be a pretty tall guy. Let's find out. Adam Pearce.
All right, so let's go through this battle royal real quick.
6'2". He's 6'2".
Okay, so he's like 6 inches shorter than Baron.
That's like Seth's. That's like Seth's height. That's a good height.
Yeah. So we had 10 people in it. The first one eliminated, Lince Dorado. He was eliminated by Baron Corbin's right hand. Baron eliminated the first 4, I believe, from this match because next he tosses out Drew Gulak. And then after that, Dolph super kicks Baron. He tosses Grand Metalik out. I said that wrong. Grand Metalik was super kicked by Dolph. Baron tosses Metalik out, and then Dolph tries to toss out Corbin. Baron puts on the brake, and he's like, what was that? Dolph's like, oh, I was just messing around. He then tosses Dolph from the ring. And as he's turning around from that, Jey Uso super kicks him. He's out.
Mm-hmm.
We go to commercial. We come back. We get a bit of a bar reunion between Sheamus and Cesaro.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool.
Mm-hmm. That was neat.
And then Gable eliminates Cesaro and then dumps Nakamura out. And while the refs are trying to keep Nakamura from getting back in the ring, Cesaro gets back in. He eliminates Gable.
Boo.
Gable's upset naturally.
Yeah.
So Sheamus and Jey are the final 2, and Sheamus bro kicks Jey off the apron to get the win.
That was a nasty spill for Jey Uso, too. So, Sheamus gets to take on Daniel Bryan later on in the night. But first we had a promo from Sonya Deville. This is good. Man, she's so good. But as she was talking crap about Lacey Evans, she was saying, Lacey, the same fate awaits you as it did Mandy. Lacey Evans sort of sneaks in, pushes her from behind. She's sort of sitting there on the ground like Vince when he tore his quads. And she's like, look, I'll see you out there in the ring or whatever. She calls her nasty or whatever.
You nasty. She said you nasty.
Nasty. After that, we had Shorty G and Cesaro and Nakamura backstage. Gable's pissed off that he got tossed by them. Cesaro makes a bunch of small jokes, and then Gable clocks him, and he accepts a challenge from Cesaro and
I thought Cesaro was really good in this segment.
Yeah, me too. I liked the dynamic of Cesaro and Nakamura because he was steamed at the end and Nakamura was just sort of laughing. So that was good stuff. Yeah,
and I felt like Cesaro didn't really emphasize the short jokes as much as most people do.
Yeah, I like that he had like a Western twang, like an old West twang at the end. He said, "Get along, little doggy," something like that. That was funny. Anyways, then we had Lacey Evans versus Sonya Deville. I like that you noted here. I had not seen this before. That they had a giant 3D Lacey Evans. Like, it's kind of sort of looked familiar. Like maybe they did this at a pay-per-view or something. But it was pretty impressive. They had a giant 3D Lacey Evans hovering over the Performance Center. That was cool. So Lacey tells Sonya that Mandy will always be better. Is this was this a promo? She get on the mic for this?
No, she was just crap talk in the ring.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
that's early on. It was like there was a whole blonde versus brunette thing that Lacey made it about early on.
Yeah. So this is when Sonya got her with like a forearm, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
she drops her with a punch and then gets the advantage for a while until Lacey drops her the head scissors, reverse DDT, like gets her so she's kind of underneath the apron, starts clobbering her, lets her fall down there. So they're ringside. She's getting ready for a woman's right. Sonya gets up, spears her. They're brawling ringside. Ref counts to 10. They're both counted out. And then Lacey sends Sonya in the corner of the announce table. That's probably like it hurt.
Oh, yeah. Look bad.
And then Lacey gets back in the ring. It's like, come on, Sonya, get back in here. She's got her dukes up. And Sonya grabs a headset from commentary and just says, I'll fight you on my own terms, and left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, man, I can't wait to talk about this next bit.
Okay. Good stuff. So, forget the following message is brought to you by the Forgotten Sons. So,
forget me not.
We finally got it. We are not looking at Stolen Valor here, Larson, because Jackson Riker was on one side, Forgotten Lines, Steve Cutler on the other side, and Wesley Blake in the middle. And Jackson Riker opened by saying, "This is Sergeant Riker." I forget what rank Cutler was. Do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember his rank was.
Because I was waiting with bated breath to hear what Wesley Blake was going to say.
And Wesley Blake said, "I like soldiers." He said,
I'm the one person who truly appreciates what they've done for this country.
Yeah. Oh, was he a corporal? Somebody in chat says corporal. Okay.
All right.
It'd be great. What if he was like a colonel? What if he went to like 1-star admiral and decided to call it a day and get into wrestling? So yeah, he said, "I'm the one person who really appreciates what they've done for their country. Will no longer turn. I was always taught to turn the other cheek or do unto others what they want or what I want done to me or whatever." And he says, "We're no longer going to turn the other cheek." And then he says their catchphrase. But Larson, huge missed opportunity here.
I'm telling you, man. Say, hey, I've been lonely junkyard guy for a number of years. I run this junkyard. No one comes by. I have to do everything myself. And the two veterans who gave a good portion of their years here to their country come. This is like their last ditch attempt to gain some employment here. They've been underappreciated here since they've returned from the battlefield. And I, being appreciative of all they've done for this country, I will hire them.
Yeah.
So they get their jobs. I, Wesley Blake, I'm no longer lonely junkyard guy.
Mm-hmm.
And we hang out the junkyard all day, tear up some cars,
drink some beers,
play fetch with the dog there because every junkyard has to have a dog.
It's got a junkyard dog, yeah.
Yeah, and then they all become friends and they decide to go be pro wrestling.
Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes we come home smelling like shit in the double wide that we have together. But I've invited them,
Heel Long Heavy says there was a brief shot of just Blake in the junkyard.
I mean,
maybe junkyard operator.
Dude, look, here's the thing. Maybe not everything has to be explained to us. I can watch a movie and sometimes put the pieces together. There's a shot of Blake in the junkyard. I can tell that he's a junkyard owner. I don't need to hear him.
Well,
say
that needs that shot, but then he needs to hand Cutler and Riker envelopes of cash because he's paying them off the books.
Under the table.
Uh-huh.
Got to keep it off the books, man, because the tax man will get you. After that, we had Alexa and Nikki backstage, and then the New Day sneak up on them and scare them, and they all lock arms like the people in the Wizard of Oz, and they all trot down the yellow brick road in the PC. After that, we had a moment of bliss with the guests, the New Day, tag champions, and it was thoroughly charming. Nikki,
heck yeah, man,
had a present for the New Day. It's Scottish pancakes. It's from her grandma's secret recipe. They were very excited about that. And then the New Day evidently are not entirely sure how coffee is actually brewed, because they brought a gift, and it was a bunch of loose coffee beans out of Big E's singlet.
Correct.
That he put in a coffee mug. They put some water in it, and then he took out like a spatula and stirred it with the handle.
It was a wooden spoon, I believe.
Yeah. And handed over to them, and there was a great comedic bit where Alexa was like, everybody was trying to get her to drink it, and then at the very last minute she said, "Oh, I'll drink that later," and gave it to Nikki, and Nikki for like 5 minutes had no idea what to do with this coffee.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny stuff.
It was this whole segment was really charming. So New Day are asked, are there any teams on SmackDown that stands out? Kofi mentions the Forgotten Sons. Big E then segues to Bliss and Nikki's problems of late with the Iconics, and he's about to ask who on SmackDown are teams to keep an eye for. Gosh, I can't talk tonight. They are interrupted by Bayley and Sasha. Bayley proclaims that they are the best tag team on SmackDown, and while she's in the midst of doing that, Sasha unzips her jacket, takes it off, and throws it at Alexa.
Yeah, ooh, that real life heat right there. Yeah,
I know.
And Alexa gets up. She wants to throw hands, but Nikki backs her up.
Exactly.
So, anyways, long story short, Bayley ends up volunteering Sasha for yet another epic battle between real life foes, allegedly. Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss. Immediately, Larson, I thought, how many potatoes are we going to get in this particular match? It's going to be scalloped potatoes, baked potatoes. What are we looking at? How many damn potatoes? I don't know how hard these shots were. Nobody ended up with blood, though. So that's, I guess, all you could ask for.
You know what I felt? But so yeah, Bayley says, well, Sasha will prove that she's a better tag team wrestler. She'll take on Alexa tonight. And Alexa says, cool. And Sasha's like, I'm not in ring gear. Bayley says, I'll go to the bus and grab it for you. And then Alexa throws the jacket back at Sasha, drop kicks her, go to commercial, come back, match is happening. I felt like, I don't know why. Maybe I'm imagining things. I felt like Sasha and Alexa were trying out some new things in this match. I see each of them do things I hadn't seen them do.
Yeah,
before.
I agree. Something tells me that they're probably on the same page these days. I really wonder how much their beef was actually, legitimate.
They're at least on the same page from a wrestling standpoint.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I thought this was actually really cool stuff. I was I was really into it. I thought this was good, and yeah, some of it looked pretty fresh.
Yeah. In the end, though, Sasha gets the win. So Alexa goes up top after clocking Sasha to the right hand.
Hold on a second. Is this true? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Sasha was wearing a Nakamura armband.
Yeah.
And the New Day were wearing Shad armbands.
Yeah.
Freedom KME here in the chat said Sasha was doing some Nakamura moves.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if that's true.
Cool. So, as I said, Bliss clocks Sasha with the right hand.
Sorry, Anthony F says Fightful shared it tonight.
Oh, wow.
That's cool. That's really neat.
Yeah. So Bliss goes up top. Bayley is on the apron. Nikki follows. And then Bayley shoves Nikki into the corner, knocking Bliss off the top rope. And then Sasha did like a slingshot pin combination to get the win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And after that, we had a Elias update after recap, and they just said that Elias was in stable condition. That's all we learned.
That's good. Poor Elias. He came to work, and they're like, yeah, here's the deal.
You're not gonna have a match.
You're not gonna have a match. No. That's got to be a bummer. But we did have Cesaro versus Chad Gable, two absolutely terrific wrestlers, and this was a really fun match, dude.
It was really fun. It was a lot of fun. The Spirit Bomb bit, that power bomb that Cesaro gave Gable was crazy. So Gable's going for a flip kick. Cesaro catches it, powers him up for a Spirit Bomb, and just destroys him. Gets a 2.
He had his Chad Gable's lower back was basically like behind Sheamus. Like he had him way up for a power bomb. It was great.
It was fantastic. Finish saw Cesaro looking for a neutralizer. Gable escapes into a roll up. Cesaro kicks out of that. We get a bunch of roll ups. Eventually, Cesaro whips Gable off the ropes, looks for a power bomb. Gable rolls him up to get the win.
Good win for Shorty G right there. After that, segment of the night. This was amazing. So they were building this during parts of the show. They're like, hey, we're going to see Otis and Mandy. What were they talking about? What were they referring this to when they were building it up? I forget. But anyways, it was Otis and Mandy. It
was just they got some time off.
It was their celebration or something. I don't know what it was. But they were relaxing poolside. Otis uncorks some peach champagne. Like Mandy will say something, and then Otis, of course, just says, "Oh yeah." I'm trying to differentiate my Otis "oh yeah" from my Macho Man "oh yeah," and it's not easy to do.
There's a significant pitch difference and gruffness difference.
Yeah, I know, but every time I want to say "oh yeah," like I know that's what's that?
That's Otis timbre there. I mean, you're close.
Oh yeah. But it's real. I just want to go, oh, yeah. Like, I really want to do that.
Yeah.
So anyways, Mandy offers a cheers for getting to spend some extra time with each other. And Otis is killing me during this. Because he sort of goes from, oh, yeah. And then he'll say something, and he'll sound like a normal human being. It's flippin' hilarious. So anyways, he's like, do you want to, dip in the pool or play some, what did he say? He said, do you want to do something? And she's like, no, I think I'm just going to take a nap. I'll be honest with you. This is the first time that I've actually seen Mandy really come alive in this whole Otis thing. And it's because they've given her material. And I'm so happy they did this because she has something to work with here.
Exactly.
So she says, I want to take a nap poolside. Otis is like, okay, my peach. So she puts her sunglasses on. And she sort of lays back. And then we get the Wayne's World. So now we're in her dream. Now the cameras are filming her dream. I love this shit. It's goofy. I love it.
I liked it because there's a bit of role reversal here.
Yes. No, that's exactly why it works so well. Because she was fantasizing about Otis. And it was a reference to Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and this is why sometimes it's okay to have a 60-year-old guy like Bruce Pritchard in charge because he'll give us Fast Times at Ridgemont High references. Yep. And this is great. So there's this very erotic filmed scene where Otis comes out of the pool in slow motion, and the deadpan look on his face when he rips open his shirt, just the way, what was her name in the
Phoebe Cates.
Phoebe Cates did, exposing herself to Judge Reinhold. He does this to Mandy, and they start sucking face. Yeah. Oh man! And then she ends up waking up because I think Otis splashes her.
Yeah, he does a cannonball.
He says cannonball. He does a cannonball. She gets splashed. Which I think was it during the dream that she squirted? Yeah.
It's
when he was walking towards her, she squirts the sunscreen bottle. Oh man, this was so great.
It was pretty fun.
I was dying.
Pretty fun.
I was dying.
Eventually, she Otis apologized for waking her up. She's like, "Oh, it's all right." She gets in the pool. They start making out again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and dude, the camera lingers on their makeout session, and it is graphic. Oh man, this was absolutely great. This is if I'm so. Have you heard that rumor that her and Tino Sabatelli were together?
Yeah.
Okay, he has to start getting worried at this point because this is totally a situation where they're gonna work themselves into a shoot, man. I'm telling you. Anyways, so the great thing was we go from this like super like graphic makeout scene between Otis and Mandy, and then
staring at you,
and then we hard cut to Kurt Angle watching the perverted sex happen, and he's staring into the camera with a big goofy grin on his face and his eyes all wide. Oh man,
it's like your dad busted in on you.
Yes,
you got going on here.
Exactly. So anyways, Kurt Angle's there to say, hey, I'm back on SmackDown. Back in the day, I used to run this place. Talks about Randy versus Edge a little bit, but then he's there to talk about the next superstar that's taken over the brand. And he got an up-close look at him this past week on NXT when he reffed his last match there. And it's Matt Riddle, and we get a Matt Riddle video package.
I kind of felt like he didn't write that, his promo.
Yeah. This seemed familiar, and I don't remember if they ran something similar when he came to NXT.
Maybe.
Because it had a vibe that I was like, man, obviously all the footage is from NXT.
Yeah.
But I was like, did they do was this the same thing? Look, we thought there was a good 80 to 90% chance that they were going to rebook him as some weird thing, and it was going to be like, oh my God, it seems like they're just straight up doing Matt Riddle.
That'd be nice.
With Kurt Angle there, is he going to manage Riddle, or is he just introducing him?
I don't know. I mean, he said he's back on SmackDown. I don't know if that necessarily means long term or just for the one night deal.
Yeah.
I don't
know. But I'd be into it if they let them really utilize their personalities and bounce off each other.
They're so diametrically opposed in a lot of different ways. Angle and Riddle are,
which is why it would work.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why it would totally work, because Kurt Angle can do. He is so versatile. He can do the comedy thing along with Riddle, but keep it. I think this is going to be. I'm hopeful. I never get too optimistic with WWE and their call-ups.
I know,
especially with people that I really, really like. But this, it felt like. I mean, yeah, Riddle might not have written this, but it was. It got to the essence of who he is. I mean, it explained this is who we're getting, and it wasn't some goofy gimmick. It wasn't, a complete rebook of who he is. It was just straight up Matt Riddle, and I think that's something that we can be interested in.
Yes. Yeah. Next, we had a Sheamus interview. He's mad that Kayla was talking about Matt Riddle. He says, while Riddle and Jeff Hardy are getting all the hype, I'm out there getting results.
Ooh.
He mentions that the Intercontinental title is the only belt he's not won in WWE, and he's not going to let AJ or Daniel Bryan stand his way. In his world, there's no place for the weak, as he says that. Daniel Bryan steps up. And he's not talking. So Sheamus says, hey, his cat got your tongue? And Bryan just stomps him on his foot and walks away.
So Sheamus, yeah, that was funny. Sheamus referenced becoming the first Mega Grand Slam champion, Mega Grand, whatever,
like that.
Which is actually pretty fascinating because that's like every belt available.
I don't know if that's just every belt, but like every possible accolade, basically, because he's Money in the Bank, Rumble, King of the Ring.
I think both brand tag champs.
I think so.
Raw and SmackDown with Cesaro. I think they got both of them.
Yeah, I think so. Bar did. I think, yeah.
U.S., WWE, World Heavyweight, and I don't think anybody else has done that. That's a fucking impressive. That's a really impressive accolade.
I mean, Edge has all. He won all the belts. He won all the same things that Sheamus did. Maybe it's a situation where it's the tag title. Not winning both brands.
Well, okay. So people are claiming, he never won the Universal title. But I mean, I don't know. Look, WWE will do what WWE will do.
Exactly.
But like the fact that he won the other title that wasn't the WWE title, which, in this case, right now it's the Universal title, but back then it was the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, WWE will do what WWE will do.
Yeah, the criteria is. Anyways, next we had Sheamus versus. First next week, Miz and Morrison have like a warning or something for Braun Strowman. Did I get that right?
Yeah, they highlighted and they were doing a graphic thing.
It was in red too. Warning.
Yeah, warning.
And then we get a women's tag title match. Alexa and Nikki taking on Sasha and Bayley. That should be good stuff. Yeah. And then our main event, Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan.
This was a really fun match, dude. It was really physical. Like halfway through it, Sheamus's pale, fleshy skin was like just all tore up and stuff. Man, they were really going at it. This was really fun.
It was fun. And it's another situation where Sheamus was basically obliterating his foe. And in this instance, it took Jeff Hardy showing up on the ramp, allows a distraction for Daniel Bryan to hit a D+ to get the win. Afterwards, Hardy hits the ring, attacks Sheamus, and then WWE tweeted out after SmackDown that Jeff Hardy passed a sobriety test, and so he was released.
Yeah.
So he didn't escape the police. He was released.
Yeah, no, I just figured that next week, we would find out, or he would say, because there was about 2 minutes when this match ended and Hardy was in the ring. And I thought maybe he was going to get on the mic and give some dramatic punchline of, I was framed,
Yeah. I was really hoping they do the old trope of like there's no clear evidence who did it, and everybody's waiting bedside in the hospital for Elias to wake up, for him to say who hit him.
Yeah.
That's what I was really hoping for.
That'd be good. That'd be really good.
Or he just wakes up and can't talk and just points at the culprit.
Yeah. Right. So I'm assuming next week he'll tell his side of what happened. Somebody knocked him out, obviously drenched him in alcohol, and then grabbed his car or whatever.
Yeah.
And rammed into Elias.
Well, if Braun was there and other eyewitnesses were there, Sheamus has 4 inches on Jeff Hardy.
Sheamus is huge. That's exactly what I was thinking, because Braun saw a guy run out. And so it's okay, well, Sheamus and even Baron Corbin is a completely different body type than Jeff Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think that Sheamus is too obvious an answer, and it's going to be hilarious because Sheamus has basically been screwed by Jeff Hardy at this point.
What if it's AJ?
Yeah, that could be.
I mean, Elias was his opponent tonight.
That could, that could totally be. I mean, look, man, we are facing a true whodunit here, because
Yes.
Baron hates Elias. AJ clearly had motivation. Sheamus clearly had motivation, and he's suspect number one according to Jeff Hardy, because otherwise he wouldn't have messed with him tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Rawgate Mutant, maybe. I don't know. Rawgate Mutant wants to be the first Mega Universal Champion guy.
What could have been is Rawgate Mutant was in a car, went through Rawgate, and it just spit him out right there while he was driving.
How about this? Rawgate Mutant doesn't have his license. He got an Uber. He got an Uber, and who is driving? Toons is the cat.
There you go. Toonses, watch out.
Toons is watch out. All right.
Anyways, you want to answer some questions?
Yeah, let's see here on Discord. We got 3 of them. Henry, the horniest friendo ever. Did that Mandy Otis segment make you horny? I think you're not a human if it didn't. Be honest with you. There's so much sex going on there.
Ma Perry 7. They should have had the fashion police be the cops. That'd been good.
Oh man, that would have been terrible.
Oh, that'd been great.
They police fashion, not car accidents. Mr. Lipkin, I'm starting a new D&D campaign soon. Each of you pick a wrestler that you'd want to see fight against some monsters in a fantasy setting.
Fantasy's not really my thing.
Well, pick a wrestler.
Oh, all right. Damian Priest. He's
Sid.
basically a vampire.
It's Sid.
Oh, all right.
Sid.
Only if he's armed with some magic-infused scissors.
Ouch.
Duckman, what if Baron and Sheamus were not together?
Could be. But neither of them still fit the bill, so they need a third man. Who's the third man, brother?
Who's the third man, brother?
Alex Foster, what other feuds in wrestling need dream sequences? All of them.
All of them.
Every single. I want to see. They need to do that with the hacker. He turns
that'd be great.
around, and you can't see him, but then he goes diddle, diddle, and he's walking around like a Radio Shack from the 1980s, because that was the place to be for computer
Yeah, exactly. But it's all first person, so you still know who it is. Phil the Thrill, what's a match that was really good that you can't go back and watch since you bring up Randy versus Jeff and Hell in a Cell? Okada versus Shibata. Really good match. Can't watch it, knowing what happened to Shibata.
Oh, wow. What a great answer.
Bora Anthony says Riddle should beat Braun on day one. You got that right.
That'd be great. That'd be awesome. I wonder. They need. Honestly, if they wanted to, they need to have a camera backstage when he shows up and greets everybody. When he gives his handshakes or whatever they do.
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
I guess
yeah.
Maybe he does brofist. I don't know. But when he goes to pay his respects to the locker room, I want to see the reactions of everybody there.
I know. And make it real. Rand Wildman, so in canon, does Adam Pearce run SmackDown? I hope so, because he was great.
Yeah, I want to see more of him. That'd be great. View. Here we go.
Die Hard Homer says, watch Adam Pearce versus Brent Albright for the NWA title at Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor. One of the best Die Hard Homer has ever seen.
What a great name, Brent Albright. Let's see here. We've answered that before.
Dang MQ says this eliminates Shorty G as the hacker.
Yeah, I saw that too. And dang MQ, if you can, please explain why that would be. just because he's there, I don't think that would exclude him. James Rodriguez. The beginning of the episode dealt with some serious topics, but I couldn't help but laugh because of how comically bad it came across. Are there any other moments in wrestling that you found to be funny, despite the fact that were meant to be taken seriously? Okay. So, I'll give you mine. And it's kind of a heavy one. But I was doing some research on like a script I'm writing, like the 10 for the Win script that I'm writing, because at some point we're going to do those again. And it was the Owen tribute episode where all the wrestlers, and it was very heavy. Like they're all giving their, spiels about Owen. Half of them are crying. Mark Henry, I think, read a poem. It was beautiful, right? Mm-hmm. They get to Triple H and Chyna. Chyna talks for about a minute. She's completely out of character, and what she says is totally heartfelt, and it's great. Triple H, she sort of stops and waits for Triple H, and Triple H is having a really hard time gathering himself, right? And so he finally pulls it together, and he's crying, and through tears he's like, Owen was really great. There's a lot of people in this business, you see them at their worst, you see them at their best, but Owen, all you saw was his best. He was never a piece of trash. And I don't know why, but him saying he was never a piece of trash, which makes me think, okay, Triple H, then can you power rank top 5 pieces of trash in 1999, please? It was totally meant to be legitimately serious, and it was. It totally was. And I was like, oh, this is even more sad because he's using his own parlance. Piece of trash. Oh, are there fireworks?
Fireworks going off right now, yeah.
Oh, I can kind of hear it a little bit, not much. But yeah, so that I found that funny, even though I understood the weight of the situation.
One thing Anthony reminds us, we didn't mention Nikki Cross on commentary tonight was outstanding. But she yelled at Bayley, and Michael Cole just about lost it.
Michael Cole was dead. He was dead losing, and at one point Corey Graves had to push his chair back. It was when Nikki got up and said, "Don't you talk about Michael Cole like that."
That was so good.
And Corey Graves had to put his head down and just wheel back because, oh my God, they were dying.
That was so good.
They were dying.
Zondo asks, where does Buddy Murphy fit into that Wesley Blake story? So, of course, Wesley Blake.
Well, they used to be co-owners.
No, this is what it is. So, kayfabe-wise, yes, before Wesley Blake bought this junkyard, he was tag team champion with Buddy Murphy. They lost the titles. They broke up. Buddy Murphy was his only friend. He had no other friends other than that. He was so heartbroken over all that he says, I'm going to step away from wrestling.
Oh,
so not only did Riker and Cutler find someone here in the States that would accept them, allow them back into society, if you will. And not only did Wesley Blake find new friends to replace the hole in his heart that was left there by Buddy Murphy, filling that hole reignited his passion for professional wrestling, and he's bringing Riker and Cutler along for the ride. That's how it all fits together.
Oh, that's good. Dang MQ here in chat also says, the Otis and Mandy segment was great, but needed the adult film auteur Eric Young. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Love Doctor.
There it is.
Yep, that was what was missing.
Mm-hmm.
Given that they did call people up from NXT, will they send someone to NXT, and who will join Raw? So if you watch News Brief today, there's the rumored next name to be called up. We reveal that there. We're not going to say anything here. 'Cause no spoilers.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Will someone go to NXT? I'd be surprised. I feel like right now they're in a situation where they're kind of moving pieces around to make sure that they have. I feel like they want to strengthen up the SmackDown roster because it did seem like they were missing some depth, especially at the top of the card.
Yeah.
Adding AJ helps that. Bringing Matt Riddle in to bring some excitement helps as well. Any other NXT call-ups, I feel like there's this kind of making sure there's enough pieces on each show to work with. I think right now it's all about balance. Fear and Loathing, Bayley volunteered Sasha for a match for the 17th straight week.
Right. She keeps on doing. Why is Sasha surprised anymore? Like, why didn't she tell Bayley in advance, listen, we're going to go out there today. Do not volunteer me for another goddamn match, please.
But she just do it anyways. I mean, it's a situation where Sasha goes, as Bayley starts talking, just be like, all right, I'm going to volunteer myself for a match, so Bayley doesn't do it.
Yeah, that could be. That could be. Let's see here. Wolfpack for life. I was all about Jey Uso winning the Intercontinental Championship. What other unexpected names would you like to win a belt?
When he was on the verge of eliminating Sheamus, I kind of popped for a little bit. I was like, oh, that'd be cool if he won.
That'd be neat. Yeah, I kind of want Sheamus to win it just so he can explain what the Mega Ultra Champion thing is.
Yeah.
I want him to explain it. Okay,
I
what
want the full list of the titles you need to win to
But you
achieve
haven't
that.
won the Universal Championship. No, but I won the other top title while it was the top title.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's you got to win all the belts on each brand or something. I don't know.
Like, I don't know. I have no idea.
Heel Long Heavy, after Otis cashes in, are we going to get a live sex celebration?
Ideally. Yes. Let's see here.
Anthony said, go ahead.
Sleazy Mo says, in the span of 2 months, Elias has been thrown off a platform by Corbin and hit by a car. In kayfabe, is a wrestler who's had a worse 2020. Yeah,
I don't know, but he's
Ray.
He's apparently.
Oh my God, Rey Mysterio.
Oh yeah, probably. But Elias is apparently Wolverine, basically.
Mm-hmm. He just keeps on coming back. Yeah, but yeah, Ray was thrown off a building and he's had his eye gouged out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's coming off end of 2019 when he was in that whole program with Brock when he threw him against the wall.
And his son got F5'd a couple times by Brock.
Yeah.
Poor Volta.
Yeah. It's been a rough 7 months for Ray. Yeah. Anthony says the music for the, I assume this is for the Otis Mandy segment, was great. Wish it was the Cars, though. They did some inspired musical choices.
They did, yeah.
Too.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Yeah, the Prince C. Ross says, I really like the quote in the Matt Riddle promo where he says, "It's ironic my name is Riddle because I'm hard to figure out." I swear he said that.
Did he?
In in an NXT promo.
Did they just do like a supercut of NXT lines?
Maybe. I thought I had heard that before.
Maybe. I hadn't heard that before. That's the line I was like, that doesn't sound like Matt Riddle.
Look, man, they didn't put him in a green suit with a bunch of question marks on it. So
no, I know. Well, give it time. He hasn't actually showed up.
Give it time, yeah. Still gonna happen.
Dang MQ, how long before Riddle gets into a 6-month feud with Corbin? Oh, immediately.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like they're gonna put him on he's gonna like tap out a bunch of jobbers first. I think they're gonna feed him jobbers first.
And Zondo says, "Get ready for Matt Riddle. I can't wait till he moves on from this Baron Corbin feud."
Andrew Berg, do you guys feel bad for Strowman? He's definitely not the A story as world champion. WWE is giving us no reason. Yeah, today he was bystander. He was witness.
He was eyewitness.
He was shook witness. He wasn't even like, he was like,
one.
"Oh my God, I can't believe what I just saw."
I know, they come up to him. He's like leaning over the top of the car, just distraught.
He's like distraught, and all he saw was a car accident.
And a guy running out.
Yeah, I mean, he saw Elias get hit, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Rand Wildman, how long till Riddle starts telling riddles? Green Payers, question marks.
Hopefully not immediately.
Fear and Loathing, given his 2020, should Elias consider hanging them up or just never be a face again? You should get some career advice. I know Jason Jordan was forced to retire, but about the transition from an active competitor to being a producer backstage.
Oh,
in kayfabe.
You gotta get Jason Jordan on screen. Why did they just make him a GM?
Hell yeah, man. I miss Jason Jordan. He was good.
Him and Adam Pearce as co-GM.
That'd be great. Great.
Good stuff.
Zondo, SmackDown has gotten Riddle and Styles in consecutive weeks, while NXT and Raw get 2 new guys too.
Will NXT get 2 new guys? No, they already have 1 million people over there. They've got too many. You see, like the crowd of the Performance Center. It's literally like who they have available. It's a lot of people.
Yeah, no.
They have one Dexter Lumis. They have a guy who looks exactly like another Dexter Lumis.
Yeah, no. Rand Wildman said Rikishi did it. He did it for AJ Styles.
Yeah, that's good. So before we go, I have to mention this, our update. So last night, I want to thank all the friendos for showing up to Larson's music stream.
Yes, thank you very much, everybody who was there. It was a blast.
And then our Unsolved Mystery stream. Now, I know last week, I don't know if I said this like on a Going in Raw show or not, but last week, it was a really bummer episode. There was this super old lady who was kidnapped. They found her kidnapper, didn't find her. There was a dog that was like on the verge of being sacrificed by a satanic cult in New York. All sorts. There's like no updates. It was just a mess, right?
Yeah.
So like we were thinking, okay, this week will be better. This week was great. There were like 3.5 updates. There was like a ton. Like everything got updated, and even the one story that didn't get updated, you could totally tell who did it. It was the husband. Like easy.
Yeah.
It's shocking that he never got arrested. So the episode was really good, right? Everything worked out perfect until the very end. There was literally 3 minutes left in the episode, and they started talking about a little 4-year-old girl who got killed and put in a box.
Oh, my God.
They had this detective come on to talk personally with Robert Stack about a little girl got put in a box.
Man, that is...
I mean, it happened 30 years ago. It sucks, but it happened 30 years ago. But then, I mean, that had an update. It was the neighbor. But yeah, it just leaves you. I mean, they had an update. The guy, and he got put to death too. It was death sentence, right? So like all's well, I guess that ends well. But like, there's still a little girl in a box, and that sucked. So like, there's an update. Join us next Thursday for Larson's music stream and my unsolved mystery stream. So anyways, want to say thanks to all the friendos out there.
Thank you very much,
We
everybody.
appreciate it. Hey, enjoy your weekend. Be safe out there with all those fireworks. You never know what'll happen with that.
It sounds like they're right outside the window. I'm going to see what all the commotion's about.
What? Why does it look like it's out? It's like light outside.
Oh, there's a lamp right behind me.
Oh, that's lamp. Oh, yeah, that's lamp. Okay. Right on. Anyways, try not to bring any evil spirits home.
No, I could feel the attachments already, so...
Oh, no. All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Oh, Twitch chat. Stay tuned. We're going to raid.